This is an emergency action notification requested by the White House. All EAS participants will follow activation procedures in the EAS Operating Handbook for a national-level emergency. The President of the United States, or one of his representatives, will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. We interrupt our regular programming. This is a national emergency. Important details will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is 88.5 WQOX-FM. We will continue to serve the Memphis area. If you are not in this local area, tune now into stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Memphis area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone liner should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. We interrupt our regular programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is 88.5 WQOX-FM. We will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Memphis area. If you are not in the Memphis area, you should tune now to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from a station in your local area. Stand by. The President of the United States, or his designated representative, will be speaking shortly.
The following message has been given authorization for the release at the request of myself, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and the United States government, effective as of 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. I regret to inform the citizens of the United States, especially on this St. Patrick's Day, that an unusual and extremely dangerous situation is unfolding across all 50 states, as well as in every U.S. territory, including Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa. At approximately 8:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, numerous eyewitnesses reported that the sun in the morning sky had taken on a light green color, causing the sky itself to appear dark green. Then, 5 minutes later, people who had looked at either the green sun or the altered sky reported being struck by a lime green beam of light emerging from the sun. Anyone touched by the beam appeared to transform into leprechaun-like creatures. These leprechaun-like creatures are attacking and killing anyone in their path, as well as causing widespread damage to everything they see. According to several police departments, as well as federal agencies including the FBI and the U.S. military, the descriptions of these creatures have been remarkably consistent across all affected regions. People can easily identify these creatures by the following characteristics and traits. They stand approximately 2 feet tall, have bright orange hair and a matching beard, smoke a small pipe, wear green buckled clothing with a matching top hat, and walk in sturdy black boots. They have also demonstrated a range of supernatural abilities that have intensified the chaos and destruction across affected areas. Reported abilities include high intelligence, dark magic, demonic magic, esokinesis, shape-shifting, teleportation, supernatural strength, immortality, reality warping, mind control, voice imitation, regeneration, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, and various forms of manipulation. Each of these abilities appears to be amplified or activated through the use of a pot of gold. It has been first spotted in numerous U.S. cities, including New York City, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, Boston, Massachusetts, Charlotte, North Carolina, Seattle, Washington, Miami, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Detroit, Michigan, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Phoenix, Arizona, Dallas, Texas, etc. Several police departments, SWAT teams, the National Guard, and branches of the U.S. military are attempting to contain the situation, but recent reports indicate that these efforts have been increasingly unsuccessful due to the overwhelming power these creatures possess. They are also breaking into people's homes and committing large-scale theft, including robbing multiple banks and numerous retail stores, adding to the widespread disruption already taking place. This is not only happening in the United States, but also in many countries across North America, including Canada, Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and Jamaica. Reports now confirm that the phenomenon has reached parts of Northern and Western Europe, Western Africa, and northern regions of South America. It is very likely that this situation will spread across the entire globe within the next few hours as this message is being sent out, and it may potentially trigger a mass extinction level event due to the progression of time zones in which the sun has already risen. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation, and needs to be taken seriously. I am asking all Americans, no matter where you live, to follow these given instructions, as this can help you to increase your chance of survival. Effective immediately, I will be placing the entire nation under a mandatory shelter-in-place order, as well as martial law. Martial law means the military will now control all aspects of life. All essential activities have been prohibited, and a complete restriction of travel has been implemented. No one is allowed to leave the country for any reason. If you are caught attempting to leave, you will be arrested, or shot on sight by the U.S. National Guard. Find a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Stay away from windows, doors, and outside walls. Put as many objects between you and the outside world as possible. Close, lock, and barricade all windows and doors from the inside to prevent these creatures from entering your home. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems. Close all curtains and blinds. Close all fireplace dampers and vents. And seal all cracks on doors and windows with tape, glue, damp clothing, or damp towels. Grab an essential set of supplies for your shelter that will last you and your family for the duration of this emergency. Take food, water, clothing, medical supplies, toys, money, credit cards, sleeping items such as pillows and blankets, medicine, lighters, candles, a flashlight, a first aid kit, a cell phone, phone chargers, toiletries, important documents, and a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio with extra batteries. Make sure you turn off all lights and electricity in your home. Turn off all electronic devices such as televisions, computers, phones, laptops, and tablets. Make as little noise as possible. And keep the brightness and volume level on your electronic devices at the lowest level possible to avoid attracting one or more of these creatures to your shelter. Do not go outside for any reason. If you do, you will be putting your life in extreme danger. Most importantly, do not approach or make contact with these creatures. They are considered extremely dangerous, as encountering them will almost certainly result in death. And most importantly, do not look directly at the sun or the sky. Anyone who does so is immediately affected by the phenomenon, transforming into one of the leprechaun-like creatures and causing the entire cycle to repeat itself. Do not panic. I repeat, do not panic. Panicking will only make the situation worse than it already is. My fellow Americans, this is clearly an unprecedented time in our nation's history. We have never before witnessed a supernatural phenomenon capable of turning the sun and sky a vivid green and transforming human beings into legendary creatures. The cause of this event appears to be a rare, ancient occurrence from Irish folklore that manifests once every 65 to 100 years on St. Patrick's Day, during which the sun and sky shift into a green hue and the surrounding environment becomes vulnerable to powerful, unexplained forces. The last time this phenomenon was recorded was on March 17, 1961, during an event that lasted for approximately 12 hours. Even though we are dealing with a lot of uncertainty and chaos, we will rise up from the ashes as one nation, under God, and try to rebuild this nation back to its former glory once all of this is over. We will be resilient and stronger than ever before. If we can get together as loyal American citizens, we will get out of this crisis, and go back to normal again. Always stay positive and have hope during these dark times. We will continue working to find a permanent solution that prevents this phenomenon from ever occurring again. However, given that this event has the potential to escalate into an extinction-level scenario, such an outcome cannot be guaranteed. Thank you for listening to this message. Stay safe, stay strong, stay vigilant, and as always, God bless the United States of America.
That was a message from the President. We now return to the emergency alert system. This concludes all operations of the emergency alert system. However, normal programming will be suspended indefinitely, or until this crisis has ended. Please stay tuned into local media outlets for more information on this extremely dangerous and deadly situation.